Hello everyone, welcome back to our LCMS method development series. Today we are diving into part 4 MRM transition time segmentation. It is a powerful technique that can dramatically improve your method's sensitivity, data quality and overall performance. By the end of this video, you'll understand what time segmentation is, why it's crucial for multi-analyte methods, and how to calculate and implement it effectively in your own work. So let's get started. Now before we talk about the solution, let's understand the problem. Imagine you're developing a method to analyze 200 pesticides in a single run. Each pesticide requires at least 2 MRM transition, one for quantification and one for confirmation. So 2 into 200 is 400 peaks. Now here's the catch. Your triple quadrupole mass spectrometer has to cycle through all of these transitions continuously throughout your entire LC run. And here's what happens. Problem 1. Longer cycle time. When the number of analyte increases, so does the number of concurrent MRM transition in each segment, which forces you to either reduce your dwell time or increase the cycle time for each MS scan. Problem 2. Reduce data points per peak. Your mass spec can only move so fast. For quantification, you ideally need at least 10 to 15 data points across each chromatographic peak. But with a 3-second cycle time and peaks eluting in just 6 seconds, you're just getting 2 to 3 data points, and that is not enough for reliable quantification. Problem 3. Compromise sensitivity. Reducing dwell time can compromise MS data integrity by introducing collision cell across talk, where some product ions from a previous MRM may be detected in the subsequent MRM. So, we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. We need to monitor many compounds, but our instrument has physical limitation. This is where time segmentation comes to the rescue. Let's look at a practical example. Say you have a compound eluting across a 20-minute gradient. So segment 1, 0 to 5 minute, there are 50 early eluting compounds. Segment 2, in 5 to 10 minutes, there are 80 mid-eluting compounds. Segment 3, 10 to 15 minute, monitor 70 late eluting compound. So, instead of cycling through 200 transition every second, your MS might only cycle through 50 to 80 at any given point. This dramatically shortened MS scan cycle time is kept constant, ensuring optimized sampling and consistent accurate quantification. Before getting into calculation, let's nail down 3 critical terms you'll see everywhere in MRM method development. First one is concurrent transition. Now this simply means happening or existing at the same time. If 5 compounds elute between 5 to 5.5 minutes and each has 2 MRM transition, then you have 10 concurrent transition during that window. And what is dwell time? Dwell time is the time your mass spec spends acquiring a specific MRM transition during each cycle. Think of it as the exposure time for that transition. Now here's an example. Suppose your cycle time is 1500 milliseconds, number of transition is 100, pause time is 5 milliseconds. So using the formula, dwell time is equal to cycle time divided by the number of transition minus pause time. Now the cycle time is the total time it takes for the instrument to complete one full cycle of all selected transition. And number of transition is the total number of multiple reaction monitoring MRM or other scan functions you are monitoring. And pause time would be the dead time between two transitions, often a small fixed value like 5 milliseconds. So dwell time is equal to 1500 milliseconds divided by 100 minus your pause time, that is 5 milliseconds. So your dwell time here is 10 milliseconds. Now let's come to cycle time. Now cycle time is the total time it takes to complete one full cycle of monitoring all your transition. So it equals to dwell time into number of transition plus pause time into number of MRM. So the cycle time is equal to 15 millisecond into 100 transition plus 5 millisecond into 5 MRM. That gives you around 1525 millisecond, that is approximately 2 seconds. So if your peak eludes in 30 seconds, a cycle time of 2 to 3 seconds should be targeted to get those 10 to 15 data points you need. Now that we understand the mechanics, let's talk about why this matters for your methods. First is dramatically improved sensitivity. Time segment methods using retention time windows allow for collection of sufficient data points to assure excellent quantitative result, with peak area precision often showing %RSD less than 3.5%. Second is better peak shape characterization. Now as I noted here, longer dwell time will naturally increase the cycle time, potentially reducing the number of cycles that can be performed per unit time. But with segmentation, we are not monitoring everything all the time. So we can maintain longer dwell time for better sensitivity and shorter cycle time for more data points. Third is handling complex samples. In dynamic MRM methods, which use time segmentation principle, can accurately quantify hundreds of individual analytes plus their internal standard and qualifier ions in a relatively short LC run. Fourth benefit is increased throughput. Dwell time is the time spent acquiring specific MRM transition during each cycle. With scheduled MRM methods using time window, an analyte measurement rate of 1000 transition per hour can be achieved per day. Alright, let's get practical. How do you actually implement time segmentation in your methods? So here's my workflow. First, you need to know your retention time. First, you must have reliable retention time data during the method development phase. Retention times are typically unknown and all transitions are monitored continuously throughout the LCMS run system. What you can do is run your standards under your exact LC condition and document retention time with at least 3 to 5 replicate injection to assess the variability. Second step would be defining your retention time windows. Don't make your windows too tight. Instead of programming transitions throughout the entire LCMS method duration, monitoring is performed only within a time limited window around the expected retention time for defined compounds. I typically add plus minus 1 to 2 minutes to each compound's retention time to account for any RT drift over time, or there is any matrix effect, or due to column aging. Step 3 would be grouping your transitions. Look at which compounds elute together, group transitions that are concurrent. This is where you create your segments. Fourth step would be calculating your parameters. How many concurrent transitions are there? What dwell time gives you adequate sensitivity? What's your resulting cycle time? How many data points will you get across your narrowest peak? And step 5 would be balancing and optimizing. If your cycle time is too long, then you need to reduce your dwell time, but watch for sensitivity loss. Create more segments to reduce concurrent transition. Consider if you really need all those qualifier ions. If you're getting interference, increase the dwell time for better specificity. Optimize your chromatography to separate problem compounds. Remember this, increasing dwell time can improve sensitivity and precision, but at the cost of reduced data points per unit time and potentially lower resolution. So time segmentation has evolved significantly. There are advanced approaches like dynamic MRM, that is DMRM, and scheduled MRM, that is SMRM. Now, dynamic MRM methods don't require traditional time segment. Instead, they use individual retention time windows for each MRM transition, with the number of concurrent transitions dramatically reduced at any point in the chromatogram while maintaining constant MS cycle time. So these modern software, they automatically calculate optimal windows and parameters for you. This is cutting edge. In scheduled MRM, a marker transition triggers MS analysis for a group of dependent target analytes, strategically distributing marker transition throughout the chromatographic run with dependent analytes associated based on their retention time. So this approach is especially useful when you don't have pure standard for every analyte. So let's wrap this up. Today we have covered why time segmentation is essential for multi-analyte MRM methods, how concurrent transition, dwell time and cycle time interact, the formula for calculating optimal parameters, the practical implementation steps, and modern approaches like DMRM and SMRM. So if you found this video helpful, please do hit the like button and subscribe. And if you have any questions regarding this video, please do drop it in the comment section. Thank you.